how do you decide if a property, let's say you're flipping, or a property you're buying, you're going to turn into a flip or a rental? Most of the time, if it's a flip, you're getting it a little cheaper than if you're buying it as a rental. As a rental, you can usually pay a little more. But obviously you want to always buy it as cheap as possible, right? But let's just say same exact scenario, you buy the house for, I don't know, 50K, you put 20 into it, and it's worth like 130. That would work as a rental, that would work as a flip, that would work as anything, right? What it really comes down to is it depends on your goals and where you want to go, right? Like I said, it'll work either way, right? Because that house, let's say if it's worth 130, let's say you can rent it for like 1,200, but you're all into it for 70K, I think, right? So if you sell it, you make, I don't know the math, I didn't do the math, but let's just say you make like 45 on it, or if you keep it as a rental, it would actually work really sweet as a rental. And if you were to refinance out at 130, you get 20% out, you would get all your money out, I'm pretty sure. Again, I didn't do the math, these are just numbers off my head, but you would get all your money out. So pretty much all the flips that we have underway, they would be good as rental properties, right? They would work as a rental property just because we got them cheap enough and we're able to fix them up, and we can, throw a tenant in there and whatever, keep it as a rental. But like I said, it depends on what your goals are. So my goals aren't to keep buying a bunch of single family houses, because it takes way longer to buy. Like a perfect example, right? We can use that capital. Well, here's the main reason why I'm doing flips now is just to keep raising capital so I can throw into buying more units, right? But what I was going to go into and say was, it takes the same amount of effort to buy a single family house as it does to buy a 7-unit, for example, right? So that 7-unit we bought in Port Huron, that took just as much effort to buy and do the numbers and look at and due diligence and all the other stuff as a single family house. Maybe it took a little bit more, and it is a little bit more of a headache because there's 7 tenants that we inherited, and some of them we got to kick out. But anyway, that's beside the point. But speaking in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty much the same amount of work. So like I said, it just depends on the amount of, not the amount, but like your goals, right? Like, what do you want to have? A bunch of single family rentals, or do you want to have like 2 apartment complexes, or do you want to have, whatever it is? Because you could turn a flip and you could buy a house as a flip, same example, 50K, put 20K into it, you could sell it for 130, you can put a tenant in there. Depending on how you refinance it, you could refinance it right away, or you could wait the 6-month seasoning period and get like conventional financing on it, 30-year mortgage. And right, but that's it takes longer to do that than, right? Because let's say you're buying it, you're fixing it up for, I don't know, 2-3 months, and then you throw a tenant in there, and then like after 6 months after it seasons with, doing conventional financing, you're pretty much like 9 months into it, and then you do a refinance, and that's going to be like another month. So, right, let's just say it's got to take less than a year, but let's just say it takes you a year to, get your money out that place. This way, you buy it in 3 months, or you buy it, you flip it 2-3 months, and then you sell it in another month. So that's 4 months that you already made a profit on. So you can do that 3 more times throughout a year and make that much more profit. So that way you can just go buy something in cash with the profits you've made on the 3 flips, right? So like I said, there's no right or wrong way. It just depends on your goals, right? And my goal is to buy bigger deals, right? More units, more doors under the same roof. And I mean, it kind of goes without saying that if I get a crazy deal in certain areas, like if I get a sweet deal in Royal Oak, I'll buy it no matter what, right? But other cities, I'm just not as excited over, right? So it kind of just depends on your goals, right? So for me, if I get a sweet deal in Birmingham, Royal Oak, any of those kind of like cities, I'm gonna keep it as a rental. Even though I could make that, 30, 40K on a flip, I'd much rather keep it as a rental because I know I'm gonna have good tenants. I know the property values are gonna keep going up. And if it's a little house on a big lot, I know eventually I'll be able to tear it down and build a big old house on it, right? So it all comes down to your goals. So it all depends on what you want to do. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It just depends on what your goals are. I keep saying what your goals are, but that's really what it depends on, what your goals are. So figure out what your goals are, and then you can kind of go from there to see if that house you're going to buy is going to be a good flip or a good rental. Well, you'll know because you'll know what your goal is, right? So hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. And are you working on a flip? Are you working on a rental? Let me know. Post some pictures. Tell us some stories about how it's going good or bad or terrible or fantastic. So have a great day.